This lesson will review perimeter and area and introduce you to volume. Keywords for this lesson are perimeter, the distance around. Perimeter is measured in linear units such as feet, inches, yards, centimeters. Please pause this video and write the word perimeter as well as the definition on your guided practice sheet. The next word is area. Area is the number of square units needed to cover a flat surface. Area is measured in square units. Again, please pause this video and write this word and definition on your guided practice sheet. The third word is volume. Volume is the amount of space occupied in a 3D, three-dimensional figure. Volume is measured in cubic units. And write this word and the definition on your guided practice sheet. First, let's find perimeter and area. And I know these are both words that you are familiar with, but we're going to go ahead and just review these. Perimeter is the distance around. It's like you are walking around the outside of a room, the outside of your house, the outside of your yard. So to find the perimeter, you simply add up the outside area. So if I wanted to find the perimeter of this rectangle, it's like I were walking around it. I would start at one corner and I would walk 6 down this side, 6 feet. And 4 feet is 10 feet plus 6 feet more and 4 feet more. So the perimeter of this would be 20 feet. It is a linear unit, so I just write feet. Now if I wanted to find the area, area is the number of square units needed to cover this flat surface. So if I look at this picture, one side says 6. My length says 6. So that would mean that I would have to have 6 columns. Or 6, it would end up being squares. The other way says 4. So I could draw so that I had 4 squares one way, 6 squares the other. And if I counted up all of those squares, I would have 24 squares. So my area would be 24 feet, and this is measured in square units. So I put that little 2 to represent squares. All right, our next one is a rectangle again, and let's find the perimeter and the area. Okay, so watch me do this one and I'll let you do the next couple. All right, so if I want to find the perimeter, I'm going to be walking around it. So I'm walking down this side, that is 8 centimeters, plus 2 centimeters is 10 centimeters, plus 8 centimeters and 2 centimeters is 10 centimeters again. So again, the perimeter of this rectangle is 20 centimeters. Now let me get the area. The area would be, my length is 8, so I would have 8 going this direction, in the other direction I would have 2. If I were to count up all those squares covering that flat surface, I have 8 times 2, which is 16, and these are square centimeters, or centimeters squared. All right, how about you try this one? Find the perimeter, the distance around, and the area, the number of square units needed to cover that. So pause this video, and if you would go to your practice section to see if and write down these answers for the perimeter and the area. Okay, let's see how that went for you. The perimeter, again, we're walking around the outside. So it doesn't matter where I start. If I go down here, I went 10, 13, 23, and adding this side, 26. So my perimeter is 26 inches. And then my area, I would have 3 going this direction, and I would have 10 going the other direction. Now these should be equal squares, and sometimes they do get a little off, but I would have 10 times 3 is 30 inches squared. There are 30 square inches inside this rectangle. And I think you can see that when we're finding the area, we are multiplying the length times the width to get that answer. All right, moving on to volume. Volume is basically the same as area. We are going to be doing some multiplying, but we're adding one more dimension. It's no longer this flat surface where let's suppose our length was 5 inches and our width was 3 inches. But this time we're going to add that third dimension. We're going to add some height to this. So I'm adding some height to this rectangle here. And so I now have this third dimension is my height that is going up. How high is this? So I've now got a third dimension. So I'm still going to multiply my length times my width, but I've added one more dimension, which is my height. Looking at this rectangular prism, let's see if we can find the volume of this. All right, here is going to be my length. My length is right here in the front, so this is my length. This would be my width. And right here would be my height. So I can count my length, and I can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cubes. So my length will be 4 units. My width, 1, 2, 3, will be 3 units. My height, how far I'm going up, I think of this as a layer cake. How many layers on my cake? 1 layer, 2 layers, 3 layers. So my height will be 3 units. And to calculate my volume, I would find length times width times height. So my length is 4, my width is 3, and my height is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36. So to label this, it would be 36 units cubed. Let's do this rectangular prism together. We're going to find 3 things. We're going to find the perimeter, we're going to find the area, and we're also going to find the volume, that third dimension. All right, if you remember, perimeter is the distance around, and I find the perimeter of the bottom or my base. So I can go, it's like I'm walking around 10 plus 6 plus 10 plus 6. If I add up all of those numbers, that would be 32 feet. Now I want to find the area. I want to find how many square units it would take to cover the bottom or the base of this rectangular prism. So just the base, just this bottom part, how many square units would it take? And to find that, I am going to multiply my length of 10 times my width of 6. So 10 times 6 is 60, and that is 60 feet squared. Now to do my volume, I'm going to add that third dimension onto this. Now I want to multiply that bottom times my 5 feet. So I already have the 60 feet from my bottom. I can take that 60 and multiply it times the 5 feet, and I would come up with an answer of 300. It would take 300 feet cubed to fill up this rectangular prism. It would take 300 cubes to fill this rectangular prism. All right, here are 5 different problems. Now you're going to try these on your guided practice sheet. We'll do the first one together, and then you will do the rest of these on your guided practice sheet. I would like for you to find the perimeter, the area, and the volume of each of these. We'll do the first one together. Remember, the perimeter is the distance around the bottom. So if I were to walk all the way around number 1, I'm going to count these cubes, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6 going this way, so my length is a 6. And this way is a 4. So 6 plus 4 is 10. And if I go around the back and around the other side, that would give me 20 units. I don't know what they are, so I'm just going to say units. I don't know if they're inches, feet, centimeters, so I'm going to call them units. Now I'm going to find my area. If you remember, area is length times width, so my length is 6. My width is 4. 6 times 4 is 24, and it is squares, 24 units squared. So if I just wanted to cover the bottom of that, it would take me 24 square units. And then to find my volume, I not only multiply the length times the width, I'm also going to add in this height. All right, so my length times width was 24, and now I'm going to take that 24 and multiply it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 24 times my height of 5 gives me 120 units cubed. It now goes to cubes. I want you to try this with number 2, 3, 4, and 5. So do your best, and we will check these answers tomorrow. Now that you have finished trying perimeter, area, and volume on those problems, on your practice sheet, I would like for you to write a short summary about volume and also write a question to be discussed in class. I hope you have a great evening, and I will see you all tomorrow.